Hello, welcome back everyone. Today we are going to talk about multiplying polynomials. So to do this, it says expanding polynomials means to multiply the term in front of the brackets with every term inside the brackets using the rainbow rule, also known as distributing or the distribution rule, and simplifying the polynomials means to collect like terms. So we already discussed collecting like terms, and we also already did a little bit of that rainbow rule of that distribution back in the last lesson when we did subtraction, right? We talked about how we had to distribute the subtraction sign through each of our terms that were in the brackets. So it's very similar here, except instead of just a subtraction sign, it can be any value that we so want. In this case, for example, we're going to multiply 4x with 3x squared, with 2xy, or minus 2xy rather, and with minus 5y squared. So let's do that. Okay, so this first one would be 12x cubed. The second one would be negative 8x squared y. And the third one would be negative 20xy squared. Now I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Why is that? Well, what I did first for this first one is I said, okay, 4 times 3, that gives us 12, right? And then we have x times x squared. Well, x is the same as x to the power of 1, right? So if we're adding 1 and 2, right, the 2 on top of the x, the squared, we're going to get 3 for x cubed. And then if we go further, for the second one, 4 times 2 is 8, right? Or I guess 4 times negative 2 is negative 8, we should say. X times x is x squared. And there's just one y, so we just leave the y as is. For the third one, it's 4x times negative 5y squared. So 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. And x times, well, no x otherwise, we just keep the x as is. And same with y squared, we just keep it as is because there's nothing else to multiply it to that's going to simplify it down any further, I should say. And so this is our answer. There are no like terms here. So therefore, we don't have to do anything else. We just expanded and we're good to go. All right, for B is a little bit different. So I will also go through B as well. For B, we use our FOIL method. You may remember this from grade 10 as well, the FOIL method. FOIL stands for first, outer, inner, and last, right? See, it spells FOIL there if we look like that. FOIL. So many people call it the FOIL method. So to do the FOIL method, first we must multiply the first two, right? So 7x is first in the first bracket and minus 3x is first in the second bracket. So that gives us minus 21x squared. Then we have our outer, so 7x and 4 are the outermost. So that's going to be plus 28x. And then we have inner, which is negative 8 and negative 3x, which will give us plus 24x. And then we have our last, which is negative 8 times 4, which is negative 32. Now in this case, we have two like terms, 28x and 24x are like terms, so we can simplify that further. So I'm just going to add one more step here, where I add together my 28x and my 24x to get that is going to be 52x. So plus 52x minus 32, like that. Very good. Okay. Now let's try this one here. So this one here is a square, and there's two ways to do this one. The first way is we could just say, oh, this is the same as 3x minus 5, 3x minus 5, and then use FOIL. So that's one idea, and that will work. Or there's actually a specific way we can do any of these sorts of equations where we have a linear that is in brackets and then squared. and it's called square the first, square the last, double the product. So I'm going to show it that way, but you can also do it the other way. That's totally fine as well, but I did already show the other way, so I'm going to show this specific way. So square the first. Well, square 3x is going to be 9x squared. Square the last. Well, negative 5 squared is plus 25. Double the product. Well, the product of negative 5 and 3x is negative 15. If we double that, we get negative 30. Ooh, so we get negative 30x, and that's our answer. Voila. Now, let's say that we had done it the FOIL way. We would have gotten the same answer. We would have gotten first, well, that's 9x squared. Outer would be negative 15x. Inner, also negative 15x. And last, plus 25. And then we collect like terms. We get 9x squared minus 30x plus 25. So it takes us an extra step perhaps, but we still got the same answer in the end, which is the important part, right? That's the part we actually care about, is that we did get the same answer at the end. Very good. All right, so here's another example that says to expand and simplify. So let's go through. So here we have to use the FOIL method first on both this part, and then add everything up. So let's do that. Let's use FOIL first, then let's add everything up. Okay, so first one would be 5x squared plus 6x minus 20x minus 24. So that's our first one. And then plus, and then the second one. Okay, plus 3x squared plus or minus 6x plus x minus 2. And then let's collect the like terms. So first I'm going to highlight like terms because there's a lot of them. There's actually only 3 different types of terms out of all these million gazillion terms, right? We have 8 terms here. There's actually only 3 types of terms. So there's our x squares, which I'll highlight in purple. Then we have our x's, which are these 4 here. And then we have our constants, which are these 2 here. So let's start with our x squared terms, or our purple terms. That's going to be 5x squared plus 3x squared, which must be 8x squared. Then we have a bunch of blue terms. So we have minus 20x and minus 6x to get minus 26x. Or actually, we could just say these two cancel each other out. What are the other two going to be? The other two will be minus 19x. So actually, that's a bit easier. Let's just do it that way instead of trying to add all these things up. Okay. And then we have minus 24 minus 2, which is minus 26. All right. Okay, so there's that one done. All right, we have 2 more examples, and then I will let you go for the day. I'd encourage you to try these 2 examples yourself before we take them up, but I will be taking both of these up in full as well. Okay, so for the first one here, for this first one, I'm first going to use the rainbow rule to multiply the 5x, distribute it through here. So I'm going to end up with 20x squared plus 15x, and then x minus 6. Then I'm going to use my FOIL method, my FOIL rule, to complete this. So 20x squared times x is 20x cubed. Then we have minus 120x squared, then plus 15x squared, then minus 90x, I believe. Is that right? Yes, that is right. Okay, minus 90x. And there we go. And now we just need to collect like terms, which is only 2, which are these middle 2 here. These are like terms. So I'll collect those up and argue that minus 120x squared plus 15x squared is the same as negative 105x squared. Very good. Okay, let's try one more. So first I'm going to use my FOIL method here, And then I'll use my FOIL method with the results of this and this last one here. Basically, the FOIL method means everything gets distributed through everything. So there will be a middle term. We will distribute the middle term through everything on the terms as well. Okay, so first would be 2x squared, then minus x plus 6x minus 3 times x minus 5. First, I'll actually collect like terms to make the first equation a little bit simpler. We still will have 3 terms, but by combining the negative x and the plus 6x, we are doing a little bit better than before, times x minus 5. Okay, next step is to do 2x squared times x, which is 2x cubed. Then we will have 5x times x, which is plus 5x squared, and then minus 3 times x, which is minus 3x. So here I distributed the 2x and the 5x and the minus 3 with that first term, because this time we have 3 terms, not just 2, and we do care about the middle one as well. This is the first time we've had a middle term, but we do care about it too. Okay, next let's do everything with the negative 5. So negative 5 times 2x squared minus 10x squared minus 25x plus 15. So 2x cubed minus 5x squared minus 28x plus 15. Like that. All done. Very good. Very, very good. Okay, so that is everything for our multiplying polynomials. Our last part of this unit is to talk about factoring polynomials. So we will do a factoring polynomials day next time. This will be review for a lot of people. I know that factoring polynomials is a big thing in the grade 10 course, but it's so important that they included it in the grade 11 curriculum as well, because in the grade 11 curriculum, we have to make sure we have all those prerequisite skills to fully get it. So we will be doing a day on that as well. All right, well, have a great rest of your day, everyone, and we will see you next time. Bye, everyone.